Right, today folks, I thought we would have a go at drawing Tutankhamun, and I thought I would go through the step-by-step that I've used with some of my students to create him. Just going to go up a little bit more. Great. Okay, so bear with me, and if I go too fast then just rewind me. Okay, so first of all we start with the central line, and this gives us everything we need to pin the symmetry of the piece. Now I'm going to go halfway down here to the top of his head. Now what I say to all my students is the head is a upside down egg with the pointy end being at the bottom. Now I'm not the world's greatest drawer of people and faces, but hey, that doesn't stop me having a go and giving you some of the rudimentaries or elementary skills for doing a face. Now my face needs to be a little bit wider this side. When you draw, you will always find that your hand that you use the most will be the one that's most effective with the drawing. Okay, so I tend to do everything on this side better because I'm left-handed and it's easy for me to work this way. Okay, and as you can see, even I take several attempts to get the shape right. Now the shape of the face is subject to change, as you will find out as we progress with the drawing. Okay, now you are going to see me in my face because I need to explain a few things with you, so please excuse me, I'm just in between lessons and I thought this might help. Now Right, we're back on the stand again. Right, okay. I hope that made sense and I hope I didn't look too bad. I may edit it out, but never mind. Anyway, what we need to do now is to look at the widest part of the egg. Now, if you feel down the side of your face, you will feel that where your cheekbones are to your temple, that is the widest part of your face. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a faint line across. Okay, and I've already can see that one side is drastically wider than the other. Okay, I'm just going to redo this one again. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to put an eye in the middle, just a normal eye, nothing fancy, just a lemon shape. Okay, and that is the width of your nose. Now, what I tend to say to my students is draw a faint line between the top of the eye and the bottom of the eye going towards the cheeks. Okay, now because you've just drawn this, the muscle memory will allow you to go up and down to the central line. Okay, my line down there is a bit narrow. Okay, again, up to the central line and down. Okay, because your pencil has just done this, it will remember it. Always do whatever you do to one eye, go straight and do to the next, because that's where your muscle memory remains. So we're just going to go under the eye to complete the eye, under the eye, and complete the eye. Now I'm not looking at this stage or any stage with this drawing is perfection. Okay, I'm not a perfectionist. This isn't for anything for sale. This is just to give you the rudimentaries or the primary aids that you need to draw a face. Okay, so my aim here is not to do a perfect reproduction. So, okay, so I don't want you to feel that you have to do the same. Now, because we've done the eye, we can now rub out the central eye, because it has served its purpose. We don't need it now, it's served its purpose. Okay? Now, we're not going to put any detail in the eye, like put in tear ducts or anything. It's Tutankhamun, it's a death mask, it hasn't got any of those things. So I'm not going to continue at this moment with any more detail in the eye. I'm going to go down and do the nose. Now the nose, we've got the eye, and we've got this bit left. So the nose now goes, I would say, 2/3 down. Okay? And you're just going to draw a line. And instinctively, you will know when you've got it in the right place. And don't worry if you do it 1,000 times. You can do the preliminaries, leave all the lines over there, and then trace it onto a fresh piece of paper when you've got it how you want, if you want to carry on painting it. Okay, so I'm going to do this longer than it needs to be. And I'm going to do a circle. Now that circle, if you feel on your face, is a circle around your nose. And if you just run your finger around the tip of your nose, you will see that for most of us it is a circle, okay? Now we're going to do the nostrils, and I say this is like a little spider coming towards you, and you'll see in a minute. So from the circle, I want you to do a hill on one side of the circle and a hill on the other side of the circle. Now you can think that this could be 2 blocks to stop that circle rolling away, or you could think of it as 2 hills. Because I teach an awful lot of children, I say it's a spider running towards me, and so the legs are level. The next thing I do is another magic line, a faint line. So this will give me the height of the nostrils. And so I just go around, and it's a kicking C. No, curly C, for those of you that do phonics at school or teach phonics. And that is your nose. Okay, now to help us put the rest of eye in perspective, we are now going to run the bridge of the nose up faintly, okay? And just faintly, that's all we need. Just because it's going to help us out with our eyebrows and other things that we will need. Now, right, sorry if you went off quickly, just asked if I'd like a cup of tea. Right, now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the charcoal around the eyes. There is a name for it, I will put it up, I can't remember, okay, but it's the line around what makes him recognisable. And so I'm just going to go around the eye, and when I get to the edge of the face, this is longer than I need it to be, so I know again the face needs to be altered. And keeping the same width around the eye as true as you can. And this is where I say the face is subject to change. And I'm going to do this to completion so that you can see what it is that I'm talking about. Now you can see that he looks kind of like Batman, and this is far too wide. So I'm going to bring the face in again, and I'm going to keep altering the face so it's down again. And this is where I say the face is subject to change. So I'm going to rub this bit out again, and don't be too anxious about this stage in the game, about the head, because the head is going to change. Okay, it's not going to stay, it looks really weird at the moment, but it's going to change yet again. You just need to know that you've got these bits right, okay? Now it looks a bit funny, it looks a bit like an action hero at the moment. Now I'm going to put the eyeballs in. Remembering we don't put the top of the iris in the eyeball. So we just go round and back up. So you can see the bottom of the eye, but not the top. And again here, round and then back up. Okay, we're not going to put any pupils or any highlight in the eye at this moment because it is a death mask. It's completely black. Okay, now we're now going to do the lid of the eye, and that goes from here. As you can see, my brew's arrived. How lucky am I? Okay, just going to have a sip of the brew. So the face is going to change quite a lot as through the course of this drawing. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put the eyelids in because they are shown in the death mask. And again, you're just going over the top, the length of the eye. And that gives you the lids, okay? There's also a line down here under the eye. Okay, but that is just more for reflection purposes than how it is. Now what I'm going to do now, the nostril is now going to help me do the bridge of the eyebrow. And I'm just going to go freehand all the way round, round and round, and then down to meet the line that I use for the top of the eye. Okay, now this is obviously bespoke. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do another line across here because it's made specially to fit someone's face. It's going to be symmetrical. So I'm going to go up to the line and down, and that gives me that line there. Okay, so I have almost a symmetrical, as much as I can, line for me. That's for me. There are other people that can do it better. Rub out these lines in the eye and round the eye. Use a putty rubber. Don't be lazy like me and just use a normal rubber. Okay, so we have the face. Now, we're now going to talk about the mouth and do the mouth. Now, the bit that goes under your round bit here, down to your mouth, is called your philtrum. Okay, and that is situated either side of the ball of the nose. Because you've got a centre line going down to what would be the chin, even though my chin's not on centre, it doesn't matter. We're going to put a V in there, okay? And that gives you where the mouth begins, okay? Now, this is another trick that I've just learned, okay? If you want to know whereabouts the mouth is on the face, if you run your finger down through the centre of your eye with your eyes closed, obviously, down through the centre of your eyes and down, you will find almost that your mouth is just a little bit offset. I'm talking at the moment, so mine's moving. So I would go down my eye and down the other eye. Now this will give me the width of my mouth, okay? Think about how thick you want the lips, okay? Are they full? Are they thin? These are things that you can change after you put the preliminary lips in. So I'm just going to do a line just under here. And now you can start to see the symmetry of the face. Now, he's not an android, he's got a pleasant face, so I'm going to go down, slowly curving to the edge. So it looks like a gentle curving mountain, and on this side the same. Okay, now if he was a woman, I would do the underneath of the mouth like that, very soft. The woman is very voluptuous, very rounded, very curvaceous. Men are very angular. Okay, so if you think of women as the land, undulating, smooth, okay, and you think of men as architecture, and think of them as being rigid and angular. Okay, now because he's a guy, I'm going to do a flat bottom of the lip. There are women like this as well, but hey, this is what I'm going to do. And then we make what I say to my pupils, a basic flat bottom boat. And there you have the lip. the chin goes just under the lip. There's not much gap between the lip and the chin. And with your central line, you can go up to the central line and down. If you're worried that one side's going to be longer than the other, just use your magic line. Okay? And there you have the chin. Now, as I said, the face is subject to change by the very nature of what it is. Now, again, if he was a woman, I would make his face very round, like this, because he's a woman. So it goes kind of down into a heart shape, okay? I'm going to rub this out now because I don't need all this excess. So I'm going to rub it out. So if he was a woman, it would come down and be very heart-shaped. Okay, always working towards the centre line. Okay, he is not a woman, he is a guy. Okay, this isn't perfect. Okay, he's a guy. So I'm going to cut off his chin there and make it more angular because, again, he's male and it's an angular face that he has. I'm bringing the chins down to make it angular. I'm leaving all the lines on there so you know, so you can remember. Don't worry about the top of the head, that will be dealt with later. Okay, and that's how I do my face. The other thing I'm going to now say is I'm going to put the ears in, and they're really important because they're where your neck is going to come from. So where the eyebrow is, if you check on your own face, this is where the ear is, and it goes just below the eye. Now those of you who doubt me, who wear glasses, will know that by wearing glasses the frame goes up here. So this is where they go. So on here I've got that mark. If I need to even them up, do a magic line across, and there's the end of the ear, and that's where the ear goes. That's the other ear. Okay, it doesn't matter if they're slightly off centre at this moment. I'm not particularly worried about that. I'm just giving you, as I said, the basics. Now, no neck is like that. Lots of people draw it like that. It's not like that. It doesn't come out under your chin. If you were a woman, the neck would come down past the cheek onto the chin, and it goes out like this for a woman. And as you can see, the face slightly changes a little bit. It's at odds with itself. Now because he's a guy, we're going to go down, halfway down his cheek, and it will go straight. It's straight. And you see how different it is. Okay, so I'm just going to straighten this one up because, like I say, he is a guy. And so it goes down and straight. And I'm just going to go down to the central line and down to the central line. And that gives me my head. Now, there's also a very clever thing. Because he's a guy and the chin is straightened off, we could, if you were going to do a portrait and do shadowing, that's where his Adam's apple would be. Okay, so that's a really good indication of where things are. This grid method helps you understand where everything is. Now I'm going to put in his eyebrows, and they're very, very stylized because it's Tutankhamun, and they go down and up a little bit. The same with this one, it goes around and down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub out the top half of his nose because I no longer need it. I'm also going to rub out the lines that I no longer need. Okay? I don't really need to do that, but I don't want it to get too complicated to look at. Okay. Now, I'm going to put the cheekbones in. Now, we don't normally put the cheekbones in, we do shading, but again, we're showing that this is a mask and it's got quite sharp shadowing, okay? So to put the cheekbones in, you always use your face as reference if you want. We're going to go down under the eye, by the nose, and down. And the same side on the other side, we're going to go round and down. And like I say, each one of us have got a better side that we work with. Okay, so I'm going to put his shoulders in now, and that will help me with his headdress. Okay, shoulders are not like that, they're not like that. Okay, they are at a slight angle down, and these will be rubbed out as the course of the drawing. Okay, I'm going to do the headdress now. So we're going to go up the side of the head and then round, and it's a lovely satisfying curve. Okay, we can then do another magic line across to where we guesstimate the other side will be, and then I'm going to go up like a J, round, and that's my two sides. One side's a bit better than the other. Like I say, this is just giving you the rudimentaries. Okay, that's the top of his head. We are now going to get rid of the top of his head because we don't need it. He's got a hat on. Let's rub out the girly. Right, to get the top of the hat, I'm going, still got my central line, I've not rubbed that out, so I'm going to go from this edge and I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go down, and that should give me roughly the angle that I need for the head. Okay, I'm going to move my paper, and then I'm going to carry on down, out, 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 and then in, curve in until I get to the shoulders. Might take a bit of practice, it may not. And you've got a perfect satisfying curve there, that's satisfying for the eye. And I'm going to do the same the other side. Out, out, out again. It's one side's always going to be better than the other until you practice. Out, and as you can see, even I'm making adjustments, and it's going to sit on his shoulder and go in towards his neck. Okay, now we're going to rub his neck out because we don't need it now. I'm going to put in his t-shirt, and that's the line of his neck continuing down. We're going to put where his shoulders were. Just going to put a little mark there, and another line comes down here, and another line comes down here, and that marks the inside of the hat. And I'm just going to go now, and I'm going to go in and back on myself and straight down, just like a sharp corner. In and down, in and down. Okay, and then I'm going to put the shoulders back a little bit, because that is the top of the death mask in there. I'm just going to put now the top of his hat in, coming from above his eyebrows up to the central line and down, And again, if you're unsure of where it's going to come down, do your mark across and that will give you where it comes down. Okay, and that's his headdress so far. We're now going to do his beard, and we're going to go in and in. Now you may find that your central line is a little bit off. Don't beat yourself up about it, it's just a guideline. And we're going to go straight down and straight down. Okay, if you need to straighten yours up or tweak it in any way, now's the time to do it. I'm just going to make my cheek a little bit fatter on one side. Okay. I want you to rub out everything that's inside the beard because we don't need it. And we're going to put the side, the bottom of his beard in, and it goes out. Got your central line there. If you need to adjust it. Round to the central line and back up. Up to the top, central line and down. And that gives you a nice curvy triangle. Lines to the top and lines to the top. So you've got the basis of the beard. Now we have to let the viewers know that this is a curved. So to do the bandaging across the top, curve, curve, curve and curve. So it automatically gives the illusion it's round. What we then do is go from the corner to the middle, corner to the middle, and you may need to watch this a few times. Corner to the middle, corner to the middle. Okay? You can even round off his chin a tiny bit if you want. I don't mind. I'm going to round mine off just a tiny bit. Not as much as a girl, but just a tiny bit. Okay, and I'm going to rub out that line that I've got here. There are two lines on his neck. Remember, you're going round, behind the beard, lift your pencil up and go back up. Down, behind the beard and back up. And then we're going to repeat this for the shirt underneath his headdress. So we're going to start with the first bit, which is fin, behind the beard and back up. Then it's a larger ring behind the beard and up, a smaller one behind the beard and back up, a large one behind the bottom of the beard and up, small one and up, a larger one straight round, small one and large one. Okay, so we have that in place. We're going to do the top band of his head and the other band of his head. Okay, will not be perfect, but now I'm not too sure. I'm going to readjust the central line. Now, I'm not too sure what these things are on his head, but this is how I drew them. I think one is a cobra. So this side of the central line, I did a faint one. Now I've done, simple way I could do it was a triangle and like a figure of 8. Round, down and round. Now this might not be as representational, but it's just a way of getting you to draw a face. And now I'm going to do the other side, and if you're worried you can use your magic line. Down and then back out again. and then rub everything out that's inside the cobra. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a triangle inside of the head, and then I'm going to address the symmetry either side of the cobra. So the first one's going to be there, round, and it looks like a D. Mirror it on the other side and round. Small little block, following the shape of the outside, and down, down. Another D and another D. And there you have one of the animals. The other animal is a little bit different. So we go from this side, working on the other side. We're going to go round and up to the central line. A bump in his head, and then a square. Okay, we're going to go down, so it looks like it's a bricks forming, in and round. Okay, and we're just going to give him a bit of a nose there, and down and round there. So it looks like now you've got the edge of a brick. Okay? I'm going to rub out the square. We don't need the square. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to turn it into like a whistle, a referee whistle shape. There and down there. And that's what gives you the mouth. I'll just black that in so you can see. So if you want to zoom in and see how it looks, it's like that. Okay. And then we put the line in, a circle in for the eye. Now following the outside of the animal. Remember round, because it's round, following down, and again the tummy is rounded because it's a rounded object. Okay, now you can rub out your central line, and there you have these. I'm not saying they're perfect, but for what we're doing it doesn't matter, it's just to give you a finished piece. Now in the middle of the head we're going to do the first colour, and that's going to go down into the middle, either side of the animal, and I would do that dark blue in there. Now I want you to think about going towards this side, so the next ones are going to be round, down, round. So again we're giving the illusion of it being curved. And we repeat the process on the other side. Okay. Now I'm going to do a line to his ears, and I'm going to work each side at the same time. So I'm going to go round. Now I'm going to make this one a bit darker. Hello, lovely. I'm back. So what we're going to, this is where the hat goes round, so we need to be mindful of this, and we're going to go around and follow the top of the headdress, round and round. That's 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and then we're going to start to straighten out. And then when we get to this bit down here, we're going to start bringing them in closer together. And then I'm just going to do the collar, and again it's under the mask, around and back up, a small one, mask, back up, a larger one, under the mask, back up, a small one, under the mask, back up, a larger one, a small one, and a small one. So, just rubbing out the bits I don't need, the lines I don't need now. Now I am going to not narrate the next bit. I am going to just apply colour to it, just ordinary acrylic paints. So look forward to seeing it. I'm not going to make this into 2 halves. I will download this and then film myself painting this, and I will just speed through this. Okay, see you in a bit. Thank you. Bye-bye.
you